The Rainforest Sloth's slow wisdom, finding joy in patience. Somewhere in the dense canopy of a Central American rainforest, about 90 feet above the forest floor, a three-toed sloth is doing what it does best, absolutely nothing that looks productive. It hangs upside down from a cecropia branch, eyes half closed, moving so slowly that algae has literally started growing in its fur. And here's the thing, this creature has been thriving for roughly 64 million years. Maybe it knows something we don't. We're going to spend some time today with one of nature's most misunderstood animals, exploring how the sloth's deliberate pace isn't a design flaw, but rather an elegant solution to life's challenges. Along the way, we might just pick up a few lessons about patience, observation, and the surprising power of slowing down. First, let's clear up a common misconception. Sloths aren't lazy, they're incredibly efficient. There's a significant difference. A sloth's metabolism operates at roughly 40 to 45% of what you'd expect for a mammal of its size. Their body temperature fluctuates between 25 and 35 degrees Celsius depending on the environment, which is remarkably low for a mammal. This isn't some evolutionary mistake, it's a carefully calibrated survival strategy. You see, the sloth's primary food source is leaves. Leaves are everywhere in the rainforest, which sounds like a buffet situation, but there's a catch. Leaves are nutritionally terrible. They're low in calories, difficult to digest, and many contain toxins that the trees produce specifically to discourage animals from eating them. Most animals would starve trying to survive on such a meager diet. The sloth's solution: use as little energy as possible. A sloth can take up to 30 days to fully digest a single meal. Their specialized stomach, which has multiple compartments similar to a cow's, slowly breaks down the tough cellulose with the help of symbiotic bacteria. By moving slowly, we're talking a maximum speed of about 4 meters per minute. When motivated, though usually much less, the sloth burns so few calories that its low-quality diet becomes perfectly adequate. This is where the wisdom begins. The sloth doesn't fight against its circumstances. It doesn't wish it had a faster metabolism or access to better food. It simply adapted its entire existence to work beautifully within its limitations. There's something profound about that acceptance. Let's talk about what slow movement actually provides beyond energy conservation. In the rainforest canopy, some of the most dangerous predators hunt by detecting motion. Harpy eagles, with wingspans of up to 2 meters and talons the size of grizzly bear claws, patrol the treetops looking for movement. Jaguars, ocelots, and large snakes all key in on motion to identify prey. The sloth's response to this constant threat isn't speed or aggression. It's invisibility through stillness. By moving so gradually that its motion is nearly imperceptible, the sloth effectively disappears. Add to this the greenish tinge from the algae growing in its fur, a miniature ecosystem that includes moths, beetles, and fungi found nowhere else on Earth, and you have an animal that's practically part of the tree itself. Here's something remarkable about sloth perception that researchers have only recently begun to understand. Sloths spend enormous amounts of time simply observing. They'll hang in one position for hours, watching the world around them. Their vision isn't particularly sharp, but their awareness of their environment is extraordinary. They know which branches can support their weight, where the best leaves are located, when predators are near, and the precise routes through the canopy that require the least effort. This observational patience pays dividends. Sloths rarely fall from trees, maybe once or twice in a lifetime, despite living their entire lives suspended above a potentially fatal drop. When they do need to move, they choose their paths with deliberate precision, having already mapped their world through patient watching. There's a lesson here about the value of observation before action. In a world that constantly rewards quick decisions and rapid responses, the sloth suggests an alternative approach. What if we spent more time understanding our environment before moving through it? What if patience and observation could reduce our missteps? Now, sloths aren't entirely stationary creatures. Once a week, they make a perilous journey to the forest floor to defecate. This behavior has puzzled scientists for decades because it seems unnecessarily dangerous. On the ground, sloths can barely move. They sort of drag themselves along using their powerful arms, and they're extremely vulnerable to predators. Several theories exist for why they do this. One suggests that burying their waste near the base of their favorite trees actually fertilizes those trees, ensuring a continued food supply. Another proposes that this weekly ritual is connected to the life cycle of the moths that live in their fur, which lay eggs in the sloth's dung. Whatever the reason, sloths have maintained this ritual for millions of years, suggesting there's purpose in the pattern even if we don't fully understand it. The sloth's weekly descent reminds us that even the most patient life requires occasional risks. Patience isn't about avoiding action altogether. It's about choosing your moments carefully and accepting that some exposure to danger is simply part of existence. Perhaps the most striking thing about observing sloths in the wild is their apparent contentment. Now we should be careful about projecting human emotions onto animals, but researchers who study sloths consistently note their remarkably low stress levels. Their heart rates are slow and steady. They don't startle easily. They seem, for lack of a better term, peaceful. Compare this to many other rainforest inhabitants: the howler monkeys screaming territorial claims at dawn, the constantly foraging coatis, the ever-vigilant toucans, and the sloth's calm becomes even more notable. It occupies the same environment, faces similar threats, and yet has found a way to exist without apparent anxiety. This isn't because sloths live easy lives. Infant mortality rates are significant. Predation is a constant threat. Climate change is affecting their habitats. Life as a sloth is precarious. But somehow, through millions of years of evolution, these animals have developed an existence that prioritizes calm persistence over frantic activity. There are 6 living species of sloths, divided into 2-toed and 3-toed varieties, and they're found throughout Central and South American rainforests. Each species has slightly different habits and preferences, but all share this fundamental commitment to slowness. It's a strategy that has survived asteroid impacts, ice ages, and continental drift. Meanwhile, countless faster, more aggressive species have come and gone. The sloth's longevity as a species should give us pause. In evolutionary terms, slow and steady really does seem to win the race, or at least finish it. What can we actually take from all this? The sloth isn't suggesting we quit our jobs and hang from trees, obviously. But in an age of constant connectivity, endless notifications, and cultural pressure to optimize every moment, there's something valuable in the sloth's alternative philosophy. Consider how much energy we spend on anxiety about things we cannot control. Consider how often we move before we've truly observed and understood our situation. Consider how frequently we mistake busyness for productivity, speed for success. The sloth has figured out something that humans often struggle with. You don't have to match the pace of everything around you. The rainforest is a chaotic, competitive, often violent place. Thousands of species are fighting for resources, fleeing predators, and racing to reproduce. And there, in the middle of it all, hangs the sloth, thriving not despite its slowness, but because of it. The sloth's muscles contain special fibers that allow it to grip branches indefinitely without expending energy. Even in sleep, even in death, a sloth can remain attached to its perch. This isn't weakness, it's the physical embodiment of persistence. As we leave the canopy today, watching our sloth friend slowly reach for another leaf with the deliberate grace of an animal that has all the time in the world, we might carry one question with us. What would happen if we stopped treating patience as something to overcome and started treating it as something to cultivate? The sloth has been practicing this philosophy for 64 million years. It seems to be working out pretty well.